Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn Oracle message. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I have my cleansing crystal on top, and I have my Whispers of Healing cards that we're going to use for the reading today. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, the links are down below. All right, so we have current situation, we have transform, and that is crossed by hydrate. What do you need to focus on? We have acceptance. What are you leaving behind? We have receive healing. What are your strengths? Is learning. Near future, we have release. So I feel like there's some shadow work that you need to do to there's some shadow work that you have to work on. All right, we have advice, we have flow, the environment, we have progress. I love it. I love it. Perfect. Hopes and fears, we have sleep. And I feel like when you work on the shadow work that your sleep is going to become better, because you're not going to have that constantly nagging at you or like bothering you or kind of in the background. For some reason, I feel like your dreams might be telling you some messages and might be saying some things to you. And then potential outcome, we have alternative. That I almost feel like, don't feel like you're stuck in this energy, and that there is an alternative, that when you work on the shadow work and you release, that it gives you better sleep and you feel better, you feel more relaxed, more content, and that it doesn't have to be this way, that there is an alternative. And I feel like that's what you kind of realize. We have overall energy, we have control. So I feel like it's time for you to take control of a situation. So we have the current situation is transform, and I just feel like there's some heavy energy just from the colors from this card that I'm feeling, and kind of how she's leaning over and she's like trying to get into that globe there, which is probably one of those globes where you have the butterflies and they start out as caterpillars and they transform into the butterflies, and then they're released and they're let go and there's butterflies all around. But I feel like there's this heavy energy that is surrounding you. And we have hydrate, that's being crossed by hydrate. I almost feel like it's hydrating yourself, and I feel like it's giving yourself life, giving yourself energy, giving yourself those things that you need to transform, and to release those things that are holding you back. With it, what you need to focus on, we have acceptance, and I feel like could it be the shadow work that you need to do is acceptance of a situation and saying, okay, this is what happened. This is the way it was. This is the way it is. This is what's going on with me. And I have to accept the situation. But if I want change, I need to change it, right? It doesn't mean I have to stay with this acceptance if this is something that is not working for you, because that's why we have this release in the near future. So it's like, okay, let me just face reality here and say, okay, this is what's going on, and seeing the truth of a situation, because sometimes we like to make things better than we think they are, or, you know, we try and sugarcoat things, or we try and sweep things under the rug, or we try to make excuses for things. And I just feel like it's acceptance of what's going on right now and what's happened. And let me see the reality of this situation, and okay, how do I change it? How do I make things different? If I accept this situation and this is what it is, and it doesn't feel good to me, then how do I change that? What are those things that I need to do to change that? Not leaving that up to somebody else. Is you changing the situation. Well, you're in the past, we have receive healing. And I feel like since she's in bed and she's like sleeping, I feel like you had some healing, or like you were feeling good, or there were things that you did in the past where you felt you would receive healing. Like, what made you feel better in the past? Things that you used to do that when you weren't feeling good, I feel like there was something that you did in the past where you would do it and you would feel better and you would sleep better. I feel like this has a lot to do with your nighttime sleeping. I feel like this has to do a lot with your sleeping, that your sleeping is very disturbed. Like you're not sleeping, like you're getting up a lot during the night, or you're, maybe you have some vivid dreams, or you're something to do with your sleeping. And I feel like in the past there was something that you did that would help you through this, that would make you feel better. And I feel like it's that release, which we have on this other side, is releasing those things that bothered you. And I also feel like it's focusing on things that help you to feel better, that help you to put your mind in a positive space. I also feel like before bed, keep things as, of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. I'm just saying from my own experiences. But before you go to bed, like, don't subject yourself to upsetting things or disturbing things, or like keep things calm, I like to watch Harry Potter before bed, but it's like I just kind of listen to it in the background just because I already know I've watched it like every night. And it's something that makes me happy. It's something that makes me feel good. I have it on in the background, and I'll just play some games on my phone. I actually have a Harry Potter game that I play on my phone. And for me, that's relaxing. It's not stressful. It's just like a puzzle game. It's really easy. It's really simple. I have Harry Potter in the background, and I just feel like it's a relaxing atmosphere for me. Some people like to read, so read something that is relaxing for you, not something that is, get your mind working or get your mind going. And it's something, it's focusing on those things that help you to relax. For me, if I read, I like 20 minutes and I'm asleep, then my eyes are tired. Some people, it kind of energizes them, and then they stay up for hours and they stay up past their bedtime. So it's kind of like whatever works for you. But doing something, I feel like there was something that you did in the past, maybe stretching out. I like to stretch out before bed so that I'm going to bed and I'm not feeling stiff, or my back's not hurting. Like, I stretch my back out every night before bed, and it feels so much better. I feel more relaxed when I go to bed. So what are those things that you can do, or that you used to do, that helped you to sleep better? We have your strengths is learning, and I feel like you're always open to learning. Like, I feel like you're open to new ideas, you're open to new possibilities or different ways of looking at things or feeling things, and I feel like you're very open to that. And I feel like you're always looking for more information. We have the near future, which is release. So letting things go, letting that shadow work go, working on that, and letting that go and release it however that works for you, which I said there's many different ways to do that. Like, you can write it down, you can journal, maybe it's some journaling before bed. But obviously don't get too deep in thought to where it starts to upset you, or, maybe write some positive motivational manifesting things in a journal each night. And before you go to sleep, have it positive. Also, when I sleep, I have a sleep mask, so that way there's no light that bothers me. And I also listen to an audiobook, which again is Harry Potter. But I've listened to those books many times, and so it's almost like the person who's narrating it, his voice is very soothing and relaxing for me. So that way there's no light to bother my sleep, so I'm able to relax. Usually within about probably 10 to 20 minutes, I'm asleep. I set the timer for 30 minutes, and I would say 95% of the time I fall asleep before the timer even stops. So finding those things that help you to relax, that keep you in a positive state of mind, and that's going to bring you better sleep and help you to release that stress and anxiety that you may be having. We have the advice is flow, let things go, release, flow. Things that come up and things that are presented to you, take a look at it, right? And see why those things are happening for you. We have a lot of butterflies, and then we have dragonflies, which again, I feel like is transformation. We have the environment is progress, right? Make that progress. Again, we have the butterflies. So I feel like it's make that progress. How can you help yourself to make progress, to transform and to change and to hydrate yourself and to feel better? What are those things? You have to look out for yourself. You can't just keep ignoring things or stuffing things down, or eventually that's going to bubble over. And when you do these things, when you're on the other side, you feel so amazing. You feel so light, and you feel more content, and things don't bother you as much. I mean, that's definitely what has happened for me. The hopes and fears, we have sleep, which I said, I feel like your sleep is disrupted, but I feel like when you start to work on these things and you do those things, like I was saying, that help you to relax before you go to sleep, that you sleep better, right? Your fear is that, you know, like you're not sleeping well. Your hope is that you will sleep well and feel rested. And then our overall energy is that there is an alternative. There is a difference. You are not stuck with something, right? When you have that acceptance, if it's not acceptable to you, there is an alternative. And then control. This is going to take some control on your own part, to take control of the situation, see what's not working for you. What can I do to help myself to receive that healing again that I used to do for myself? And stay focused and not give up and fall back into old patterns, because that's really easy, is to fall back into old patterns. I definitely find myself doing that, because sometimes it seems easier. I get distracted. That's my hardest thing, is to stay focused on something. Like I'll do it for a while and then I get distracted. So at least I know that that's my issue, and so I have to have more self-control within myself and control the situation. Don't let the situation control you. All right, I'm gonna grab my wisdom of the oracle, and we have happy. I love this one. That's like my favorite card from this, one of my favorites. I have a couple, like milk and honey. I love that one too. But happy, bring back that happy, transform into that happy, hydrate yourself with happy energy, feelings, looking out for yourself and doing those things that make you happy. It doesn't mean you have to be happy all of the time, or, you know, you're ignoring things that are important, but it's like, give yourself that time. Yesterday I went to the barn, and I had such a good time. I forget how amazing it is to go to the barn. Like I go 3 times a week, but it's almost like sometimes I get so involved here, and you kind of get set in your ways, and you're in your living space and you're doing your thing, and then you forget. And then I go to the barn, and I'm like, wow, it's so amazing out here, and it's so relaxing, and I absolutely love it. And I forget how amazing it is. And I had a very nice day, and that helps you to have a better rest of your day when you have that. All right, let's get a star dragons for this reading. We have the self, gathering your power. Definitely, that's what this reading is about, is gathering your power, your strength, you taking control, receiving healing for yourself, hydrating yourself, right? Releasing, making progress, sleeping better, feeling better. So that's definitely what this reading is about. And it's putting yourself in that mindset, is that if I'm not feeling good or I'm not happy, then I need to do things to change it. All right, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.